Hi everyone. So we're going to make a video today on how to make a sidebar using CSS. So let me pop in and say, just want to show you this is what the sidebar and the main content is going to look like when we're all done with this. So we just got a little sidebar and the main content, and we can scroll the main content and it's not interfering with the sidebar. So I'm starting here with two files in Visual Studio Code. I have a folder called sidebar, and I have an HTML file and a styles.css file. So I'm going to open the HTML file in the browser so we can see what happens when we make changes. I'm going to start here with the boilerplate. And the important thing that we need to do when we make a sidebar is we need to separate the sidebar and the main content of the page into two different divs. So we're going to use a side for the sidebar, and then we're going to use main for the main content. And we're going to start by giving these some content and background colors so we can see that we actually have something going on here. So let's do a side. We'll put an unordered list in there, and then we'll put some LIs and A tags inside of those for our links. That's page 1. I'm just going to Alt-Shift down, copy that a few times, and let's see. I need to refresh this. And we can see stuff on the page. So page 2, page 3, page 4, okay. And we can give this a header if we want. So that's going to be our sidebar, but right now it's not acting as a sidebar. It's just going to stack on top of this main content. So here, let's put this is main content, and then let's add some lorem ipsums, and we'll make a couple of copies of those. Alt chip down, just so we have a long page we can scroll up and down on and see what's going on. Okay, so you see right now they're just stacking on top of each other. So the way we want to make them not stack like that is we're going to make the sidebar, we're going to give it a style of position fixed. So it's going to stay in the same place on the screen, and it's not going to interfere with the other text while we scroll. So let's start by giving both of them some background colors, and we can give the main content a header as well. Page 1 and page. Okay, and we'll start with side. We'll give it a background color of, sure, cadet blue, and then main, we'll give it a background color of coral. Okay. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, we need to link our CSS file as well. Else. There we go. So now we can see we got something going on, and we have a little bit of extra margins both in between the two divs and in between. Well, first of all, let's take away, there's a default margin from the body. So let's set that to 0. Okay, so we see the left and right margin disappeared. But now we have there's still a margin in between. Let me take this away. There's a margin above each of the divs. It's because of the headings. They come also with an automatic margin. So we need to either reset that to, oh, and the owner of the list as well has a margin. We need to reset those margins, or we need to just add some padding so that it doesn't leave the blank space. So I'm going to add padding to each of these items because that's more what you would do in this situation. Padding 40 pixels for the main content, and then for the aside we'll do 20 pixels. Okay. and we see that disappears. So that's good. And now what we want to do is move the sidebar over. We'll give it a fixed width. We'll give it, I think 200 pixels might work. Yeah. So now we can see that it got smaller, but it's still just stacked on top. So the way we're going to fix that is we're going to position it, fixed, position, fixed. So now we see that it's on top of the other text, and it's not changing when we scroll, but we still need to get it to, let's first make it the same height as the page. So we're going to give it a height of 100 viewport height, which makes it 100% of the page height, current page height. So, and we'll decrease the width, we'll go down to 140. Okay, and now what we want to do is we want to give the main div a margin on the left that's going to be equal to the total width of the sidebar content and the padding. So we have the width of the sidebar is the width of the sidebar content. That's 140 pixels. And then the padding, it's 20 pixels on each side, top, down, left, and right. So, but in our case, since we're adding margin to the main content, to the left side, we have to include the horizontal padding of the sidebar, if that makes sense. So we have 20 pixels on the right side, we have 20 pixels on the left side, we have 140 pixels in the middle. So we're adding those up to 140 plus 20 plus 20, 180 pixels. And then we see that our content is fixed. And let's remove the padding just to see that we got the actual number right. So you can see here, the text is butting right up against the sidebar, which is perfect. Shows us that we did not miscalculate the padding and the margins. So we'll add that padding again, 40 pixels. And that's it. So now we can see we have a sidebar with links, and we can see we change the page size, and it doesn't, no matter how long or short we make the page, the sidebar stays consistent. And when we scroll, the sidebar stays consistent, and it doesn't interfere with the other text. So the main focus here is to just make sure you got the main content in its own div, and the sidebar content in its own div, and we use the main div and the aside div for those. So that's the way you can separate those two concerns and make it easy for you to style one fixed and style one just regular. Position it static position, is that what the default? So thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful, and if you make a sidebar thanks to this video, then please let me know, because that would make me happy. And thanks for watching. All right, bye.